Time now for the Executive Edge, and we're taking a closer look at the reports of a new COVID wave in China. Let's get to Eunice Yoon in Beijing for the latest on this. Eunice.
Thanks, Melissa. Well, the government here is acknowledging that China appears to be heading into a new COVID wave. The China CDC says the dominant strain is the Omicron XBB variant. Government-backed epidemiologists also said that they believe that the current wave is going to peak at the end of June, reaching 65 million cases a week. Now, the surge in cases has people talking here and wondering as to whether or not Beijing would put the country back into lockdowns. So far, it doesn't look as though that is the case. Beijing has been largely downplaying this surge while it's playing up the importance of the economy. And state media here has been quoting several different experts saying that the cases are going to be mild. Large-scale outbreaks are unlikely, and that the impact on what they say day-to-day life is going to be insignificant. Now, at the same time, there appears to be an effort to try to control even further information about COVID spread and its impact. For example, the Chinese have halted the data and releasing the data of cremation from December 2022, and that's, of course, when zero COVID lifted. And then in addition to that, WeChat groups have been reporting that they're being warned that they could be shut down if people within those WeChat groups share information about COVID that isn't from official Chinese sources. Guys?
Eunice, there have been reports of mysterious shutdowns for no disclosed reasons of large events. Is this believed to be related to this rise in this XBB variant?
Yeah, it's really difficult to know. You're right that there are a lot of different venues around the country that have suddenly shut down, sometimes even when they just began. Largely, these are entertainment venues, and it's really a big unknown as to whether or not the concern is the spread of COVID, or whether or not it's because of something else that happened here in the past several days, and that is that a comedian made a joke about the Chinese military, which the Chinese military didn't look kindly upon. So that comedian is now being investigated. It could be jailed. Nobody is quite sure exactly where he is. And also, the company that supported him was fined $2 million. So there's been a lot of discussion about how this crackdown could be related to the Communist Party not being happy about any sort of discussion about the PLA in a way that they think is not flattering.
And Eunice, just, since the lifting of COVID-0, has there been an increase in vaccination of the population?
It's at like 90%, where I was just looking at it. It's like 1.3 billion people supposedly had 2 doses. But, we don't know exactly what how well people are protected. And that's one of the reasons why people are worried about a reinfection or infection at all. But one other thing that same epidemiologist, that government-backed one, had said is that there's been a big push and a rush to try to have more vaccines here that specifically target XBB. However, so far, these are largely, they're all Chinese vaccines, but also there are 2 that have a preliminary approval, and then another 3 or 4 that might be approved. But the big question is to whether or not these vaccines will even have any impact on the current wave.